All right, video 4, adding content to your new Google site. You'll notice I'm on the Insert tab over here on the right-hand side, and I have all these different kinds of content. Okay, I'm going to go through each one individually for you, but a lot of these pieces of content you can also add to your page simply by double-clicking, and it brings up the wheel. So you'll notice the images, URL, from Drive, upload, and text, which are basically the equivalent to this section up here, and some of this down here are available from just double clicking. So if I want to add a text box, I simply click that. Now I didn't add it as a separate text box because when I double clicked in an existing text box. So it allows me to put content side by side. So this is column 2. Okay, and then I can shrink that down to whatever size I want. And if I double click again and add another text box, I can put column 3. And I can add text next to each other. So even though the general design of Google Sites is vertically linear, you can add some content side by side within an existing box. If you double click outside the box and add text box, it adds it as a new section to your text box. That new section can also be colorized with a different section background than the one above it. So, excuse me, going back to lesson 1, I'll just pick a different color so you can see. So you can have bands of color separating the sections out. You can also just put a text box in between a section and then have the next section have additional materials. So now, clicking here, I can click image. It allows you to add an image that you find by a URL. Wouldn't recommend that because if that website takes down that image, your image disappears off your page too. You can search the Google Life library. You can look in your photo albums that are part of your photos on your Google Drive. Or you can go directly into your Google Drive to find a folder that has images that you want to use for this particular page. So I'm going to just come in here and we'll pick an infographic. This one here. Okay, and so I add that here. I can add another image right next to it simply by clicking on it. Notice it brings up the same folder I was just in. I can select. And so you can put images side by side. To resize an image, you simply use the tabs on the side of it. If you use a corner one, it'll do it proportionally. If you use a side or bottom one, it will distort it so that it's not the same. Okay, you can create a hyperlink for that image, meaning so that when people click on this image, it will take them somewhere. So this one kind of looks Disney-ish. So we're going to go http://www.disney.com. And that will take them to that website when they click on that image. So that's how you hyperlink an image to a website. Okay, and you can do each one has a separate link. You can crop it using the crop tool, and then you can uncrop it and go back to the original. Okay, there's just a few more images. Alt text is for people who have visual impairment, where you can add text that says this is a picture of, etc. You can put a caption under a picture. Good to put sources for your sites. If you want to demonstrate for students how to cite sources, you can put the source of your image right there. And then replace image simply means put a new image in the place, but you could also just delete that image off of the page, double click, and put a new one in its place. Okay, so that's how you add images, and we've added new sections. Okay, when we double click, we have other options though too. Okay, we have the URL, upload, and from Drive. The URL is a really cool one because it allows you to embed content into your page from other sources, like YouTube, for instance, which is over here. So I'm going to click down here in a new section, and I'm going to choose URL. I'm going to come over here to a new tab where I have a video that I was looking at on YouTube of how to use the snipping tool, and I want to add that to my page. I'm going to switch back from YouTube to my page. I'm going to simply paste that URL in here and click Insert. And now that video is embedded on my page, and if I preview the page so that I can see it as a person looking at my website would, you'll notice that video is there and it plays right in frame. So they have made it really easy to add some types of outside content to your site simply by taking the URL of that content, pasting it in, and you're good to go. So one other related, to get out of the preview, you come down here. This is preview on a phone, preview on a tablet, preview on a computer, what it'll look like for people. All right, so if I want to add another URL, if I want to add a playlist, I've created a playlist on YouTube of 12 different videos that I want the students to see one after another. I go find that playlist in my channel. So to get to your channel, you click on your little person here and you choose My Channel. You're then going to click on the Playlists tab. You're then going to click on the playlist you want, which is starting that playlist playing. However, this URL is not the one you need to use to put in there for this playlist to be embedded on your page. You need to click on the name of the playlist over here. It takes you to your playlist editing page. That's the address we want. When we copy that one and we come over here and paste it as a URL, it then gives us a playlist where all 12 videos are up here in a pull-down menu. Again, if I preview it and I scroll down to it, I can click on this and then select any video that's in that playlist right on my Google site. So that URL tool is really useful for doing videos. It's also useful for adding other content. For instance, I set up a blog on Blogger. I used the website URL for that, and I dropped that on my page so my blog comes through and like it's part of my site rather than going out to a separate Blogger site. So you try it. That's the only thing I can tell you is if you have a website or a resource on another website that you want to make part of yours, try dumping that URL in. Google will try to parse out what you want from that page and drop it in. Okay, so that's using the URL tool. Text box we did, images we did, embed URL. So upload allows you to select a type of resource and upload it to your page and allow people to use it. It's mostly for if you want to add an image to your page that's not part of your Google Drive, then you would click upload, go to your C or your F drive, and then add that image to the page. Okay, it only lets you upload certain types of files. Images and probably video files are the only ones you're going to be able to use using that upload tool. From Drive is a little different. It allows you to add Google Docs and Google Forms and all those different types of Google files embedded right into your page. It also allows you to add a PowerPoint if you had one in your Google Drive. However, it doesn't work like a PowerPoint. It's more like a scrolling tapestry of each slide one after another. So I'm going to click from Drive and show you that it brings up my Drive over here. Okay, so now if I want to add a document or a slideshow that I have as part of my thing, I simply find where that is. So I'm going to go over here to my session materials folder. I'm going to go into my drawing folder, and I'm going to choose my presentation on how to use Google Draw to add to this page. When I add it, it appears down here. Notice it loads in. You have your controls to go backwards or forwards. You can jump to any slide. Okay, so it's an interactive Google slideshow that you've now put into your page. It's also a great way to do photo albums. So if you wanted to add a photo album to your page, you could put all the photos one on another on a slide, and there's a nice extension for Google Slides in Chrome to do that. And then you can embed that in here, and people can scroll through and do a slideshow of your pictures. Okay, so almost done with content. Just wanted to talk to you about Calendar real quick. Okay, and notice you can embed any of those Google types of files this way too, rather than using the From Drive button here. But either from here, or from here, those content pieces can be brought into your page. All right, so calendar is the last one I'm going to talk about for you, because a lot of people like to put their calendar on their web page. So when I click on calendar, it brings up access to all of my calendars. If I want to combine more than one calendar together, so say I want my calendar and Gail's calendar to be on this page because they're both people that work in the SIL, and we want to be able to see those calendars together, I just simply highlight both of us, and because she shared access, I have access to her calendar. I click Insert, and then those calendars appear here, and they're combined together in a layered calendar, although you can't tell that from the title there. But if I go to Preview, hopefully it'll change for us down here and show events from both calendars. Okay, so it gives you a combined calendar. You can skip through the days, you can switch to month view. Okay, so and that's how you combine calendars together on a page, although it doesn't look like it did it. So let me just try this real quick. Let me take off the title and then tell I want it to start in month mode rather than agenda mode. So it probably just used my title for that when we did it. Okay, so that's how you add a calendar. Note that on any of these pieces of content that you add to the page, you can click on it and go to the gear to make changes to that piece of content. And when you add something from your Google Drive, people have to be able to access it in your Google Drive in order to see it on the web page. So if they don't have shared rights to it, they'll get no permission allowed on this page. Okay, long video, sorry, but that's how you add different types of content to your page.